So I'm proud of him. I'm not really upset. Even like it was
Terence Crawford couldn't have an error to himself. And if you put Terence Crawford against any opponent on Floyd's resume, who do you have favorite? Terence Crawford or one of Floyd's opponents?
Why does Ron keep mentioning another?
No, I'm asking the question first. Do we got Terence Bud Crawford beating everybody on Floyd's resume?
so confident.
And Terence Crawford continue to be great. Continue to do you.
What happens when a fighter who defined an entire era of boxing starts to feel the weight of time catching up with him? When someone who once controlled every division, every spotlight, and every major payday suddenly becomes the one being analyzed and questioned. For Floyd Mayweather, that moment seemed to arrive during a live appearance where he pushed back strongly, insisting, "I'm still better." The reaction online was immediate because it didn't feel like just another comment. It sounded like a response from a legend reacting to being compared to the sport's new standard, Terence Crawford, who has been dominating discussions after high-profile victories and shaking up boxing's hierarchy. To understand why that reaction carried so much weight, you have to look back. For years, Mayweather operated at the top without dispute. A perfect 50-0 record, no defeats, and a style that turned defense into dominance. He didn't just win fights, he controlled them completely, building a legacy around precision, timing, and unmatched ring intelligence.
I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Then Terence "Bud" Crawford entered the picture. A boxer whose mentality mirrored the all-time greats, but whose style belonged to a different generation. Unlike many stars, Crawford wasn't focused on popularity. His goal was to secure his place among the sport's legends. Everything shifted after his victory over Canelo Alvarez. That win elevated him beyond the status of champion. Suddenly, he became the standard everyone was talking about. Fans and analysts began arguing that he might have possessed the tools to challenge, and perhaps even defeat, Floyd Mayweather at his peak.
I think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me?
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? That's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Because if you really look at the comparison, Canelo shared the ring with both fighters during their best years. Floyd clearly outclassed a much younger Canelo, and nobody disputes that. But when Crawford met him in 2024, the outcome was even more one-sided. Bud didn't simply come away with a victory. He controlled the fight from start to finish. Against a naturally bigger opponent, he made Canelo seem completely ineffective and surprisingly average.
Crawford had the ability to fight backwards and stay composed, good defense, hands was always up, countering everything that Canelo was throwing at him. He was just a little more active fight. Canelo did hit him to the body, but it was pretty much all Terence Crawford.
I think some of what we saw from Canelo is what he's has to resort to now to fight. Maybe he's dealt with some injuries to where he's not as mobile. It's just the pattern that he's put himself in for the last, 6 to 8 fights. That same pattern is why Bivol was able to get him.
He did not allow Canelo to get inside, man. As soon as Canelo would get into that certain range, he would jab him. We didn't see any lateral moves where he would throw, push off to the side, as we used to see Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo was almost smothering his shot because he couldn't stay at range with him. And Terence Crawford runs off counter combinations. It would be a wider margin if they fought again.
Following the bout, Canelo was asked by the media to compare Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. He didn't need time to think about it. Canelo gave a direct answer, saying that Crawford was the superior fighter.
And lastly for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
That comment sent shockwaves through the boxing community. It didn't land as a simple compliment. It felt like a direct challenge to Mayweather's long-standing legacy. Because if the fighter Floyd once helped elevate and define now suggests that Crawford is a more difficult matchup, it reshapes the entire conversation around greatness and legacy in the sport.
Well, also if we remember, Canelo that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. CJ Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw, and then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course.
Yeah, nobody had it.
And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20 something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
how you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose?
20s.
I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
But want to
make himself look like he did something great.
For years, Floyd's legacy revolved around being flawless. An unbeaten record, no clear vulnerabilities, and nobody viewed as his equal. But as time went on, a new question began circulating among fans. If Crawford and Mayweather had met, would Bud have come out on top? Could he have been the one man with the tools to defeat someone many consider the greatest ever?
Couldn't have an era to himself. And if you put Terence Crawford against any opponent on Floyd's resume, who do you have favorite? Terence Crawford or one of Floyd's opponents?
Why does Ron keep mentioning another?
No, I'm asking the question first. Do we got Terence Bud Crawford beating everybody on Floyd's resume?
That was the point when Floyd's approach seemed to shift. At first, the signs were subtle, but they gradually became impossible to ignore. During interviews, he began making comments suggesting he still had plenty left, and that a return was always possible if he decided to do it. Initially, most fans brushed it off as typical Floyd talk. But then news surfaced that caught the boxing world by surprise. Mayweather wasn't discussing another exhibition. Instead, reports revealed that he was exploring the possibility of stepping back into the ring for an official professional bout. A genuine comeback that nobody saw coming.
Any chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike? Or is that off the table?
Let's own it. It's on it. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. Not at all, but we just don't know.
One name kept appearing in the conversation, Terence Crawford. For Floyd, this wasn't just about returning to the ring. He was determined to send a message. In his mind, regardless of how many titles Crawford collects or which opponents he defeats, there would always be one thing he could never become. He would never replace the legacy of Money Mayweather.
Because, if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference to people.
But before even considering a showdown with Crawford, Floyd had another challenge lined up. Mike Tyson was already on his radar. The two iconic figures are set to share the ring in an exhibition match scheduled for next April.
Could have fought any fighter, any era. Who would you have picked that you would have liked to fight the most?
Floyd Mayweather.
I love it. Why?
Huh?
You want to knock him out?
Well, I would love for him. I wish he was my way.
All right, interesting answer.
He's very delusional. He can't listen. If he was anywhere near that realm of Great Ali, he'd be able to take his kids to school by himself. He can't take his kid to school by himself. And he talking about he's great. Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people. He's a little scared man. He's a very small, scared man.
That matchup has nothing to do with championships or adding to their records. For both men, it's personal. Tyson has openly stated that he has little respect for Mayweather. believing Floyd carries too much arrogance and avoided taking the kind of risks other fighters embraced. Tyson has even vowed to reveal what he sees as the truth about Mayweather in front of the entire world.
Feel about Floyd though?
Huh?
How do you feel about
Awesome
Floyd?
fighter, great fighter. You know, he's a little too into himself. You know, he should be. I was the same way too, but you have to come to reality some way. You have to bring your head down to God. We're nothing to be fucking arrogant. You expect us to be ignorant and arrogant. Look where we came from.
That's why I asked the question earlier about you mentoring fighters, because I feel like Floyd looked at you growing up like every other fighter. And the persona and the lifestyle was like, growing up in the hood, we looked at it like, that's Mike Tyson. We see the cars, the jewelry, the flair. Like you was a movie star. You was a hero.
I didn't see that.
But to be honest, this Floyd versus Mike Tyson matchup is already shaking up the boxing world in a big way. A lot of fans aren't buying into it. They're labeling it more of a spectacle than a serious contest, arguing it's just another money-driven exhibition rather than a true competitive fight.
Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather is happening. What the fuck is going on? This is where boxing is in 2025. And listen, I'm not going to complain because I understand the layout of things. We already had Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We have Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis. This feels like the Temu version of it. And that sounds crazy because we have two of the greatest of all time about to participate in this, but both of them are about 30 years past their sell-by date in an exhibition bout in which their weights will be 60 to 70 to 80 pounds different. If you got on board with Jake and Mike, it was because at least they were going to weigh the same. I don't even know what to think. Someone on Twitter said it perfectly. Either everybody in the world is going to want to watch this or 10,000 people will watch it. Probably both men want a shit ton of money and they're being promised a shit ton of money, but it's happening.
Critics point out that a 60-year-old Mike Tyson really shouldn't be getting back into the ring, particularly against a fighter like Floyd, who remains quick, precise, and still in fighting shape. From that perspective, their concerns make sense, and the matchup has naturally sparked heavy controversy.
It's just shit, isn't it? I mean, like, let's be honest, like, I hate, in a way, and I know people go, oh, you can talk, you fuck. I just hate some things that are happening in boxing. Like, I don't mind if some, like even Jake Paul, I don't mind Jake Paul. I think he's a young guy who's taking boxing seriously. I think he's improving. I think he's doing training camps. But why would you want, how old's Mayweather? 50? You got a, what?
Maybe a little bit.
How old's Floyd Mayweather? 48. You lot don't even know. You're supposed to be boxing. Yeah, I know, yeah. But all right, 48, 49, whatever. I was going to say, that's old. He's 2 years older than me. Right, what I'm saying is, who wants to watch a 48, 49-year-old Floyd Mayweather fight a 60-year-old Mike Tyson? It's just bullshit. Like, and as much as I love money, I just wouldn't do that. Because I actually, whether you believe me or Pete, you believe me, I love boxing too much. I think it's disgusting. It's just so shit. Like, who wants to watch that? Yet people will watch it, so I understand. But it's just like, I just find it naff.
Jake Paul already faced major criticism after stepping into the ring with Mike Tyson. And now Floyd Mayweather is heading straight into the same storm of backlash. But there's another angle to it, that if Floyd ends up controlling the fight against Tyson the way many are predicting, he could completely shift the conversation. That performance might serve as a form of redemption, showing he still has elite-level ability. More importantly, it could open the door to the long-discussed clash with Terence Crawford.
That fans will watch for sure is you and Mike Tyson. How's training going, Floyd? Talk to me all about this as you get ready to get back in that boxing ring once again.
Well, not really training right now.
Not yet.
The fight is in 2026. We still, ironing out everything, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exciting for the people and the fans.
Are you going in there to put Mike down and like, hey, this is not, we're going to have fun, we're going to throw a few punches, like I'm taking this seriously and I'm trying to fight Tyson?
I don't know. I just want to give the fans what they want to see, excitement. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be an exciting event.
That's why Floyd's recent reaction struck such a nerve. When he went live and declared, "I'm still better," it carried more than just confidence. You could hear the tension behind it. It felt less like bragging and more like pressure building up that I end that moment. It seemed like he was watching the sport continue without him, while Terence Crawford was stepping into the spotlight as the new standard of greatness. For someone like Floyd Mayweather, whose entire identity was built on being untouchable, that shift is hard to ignore, but the facts around Crawford are difficult to dismiss. His record remains spotless. He has unified titles in multiple weight classes, handled every major challenge put in front of him, and often done it in dominant fashion rather than close calls. On top of that, his ability to switch stances mid-fight and adapt instantly makes him one of the most versatile fighters of his era.
Like, I can bet the house on, it's Bud.
Who's the most skilled fighter today?
Bud is definitely one of them, for sure. Me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like, soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So, skillful, yes. But this and this, it's different, man.
Even Floyd has previously acknowledged that Crawford's approach resembles his own in several ways. His patience in the ring, his adaptability, and his skill for reading opponents almost like their predictable patterns. But there's a key difference that fans often point out. Floyd was known for controlling fights and securing wins, but Crawford brings a more ruthless edge. He doesn't just outbox opponents. He tends to break them down completely and finish the job in dominant fashion.
Start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah, we ain't going up that much.
Now the debate among fans has shifted to a bigger question. Is Crawford actually an upgraded version of Floyd Mayweather? For Mayweather, that comparison itself feels like an insult. In his view, there is no such thing as an evolution of his style, only copies of it. He has made it clear before, saying that modern fighters picked up their craft by studying him, and that everything they do comes from watching his blueprint. From that perspective, he questions how anyone could genuinely be considered better than the original.
A lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We even had the conversation go as far as who wins in a fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
Yes,
fight.
sir. I
Floyd
love you, Terrence.
always figures it out.
Yeah, he's
a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in that
The funny
success is
thing
crazy.
about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody
though.
else? Yeah.
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
got a pioneer,
You
right?
can't
Yeah,
out-figure
you gotta.
There's an OG you can't
Yeah.
out-figure out somewhere. And I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure out.
That wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Also, drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.